Grade 3 Science, Habitats and the Environment. Vocabulary. Adaptations. Adaptations are changes that help an animal or plant to survive. Atmosphere. The atmosphere is a layer of gas surrounding the Earth. Climate. Climate is the weather over a long period of time. Elevation is the height of land above sea level. Environment. The environment are all the living and non-living parts of Earth. Erosion. Erosion is when water, wind, or ice make the soil or ground disappear. Habitat. Habitats are the places that animals live. Hibernate. Hibernate is when an animal sleeps through the winter. Latitude is the measure of how far a place is from the equator. Survive. To survive means to stay alive. Let's read. Can you imagine a wild polar bear in Hawaii? How about a palm tree at the South Pole? You may know that these things do not happen. But do you know why not? A habitat has the food, water, air, and shelter a living thing needs. Habitats have many parts that work together. As you read, you will learn why the pictures on this page could not be real. Earth has many habitats. To know why, let's learn about the building blocks of habitats. The first building block is latitude. Latitude measures how far a place is from the equator. The sun warms latitudes near the equator more. The sun warms latitudes near the North Pole and South Pole less. The second building block of habitats is elevation. Elevation is how high or low a place is. The sun warms low places more than high places. Why is that? The air around Earth is the atmosphere. It is like a blanket of air. The blanket is thick close to the ground, so it holds in more heat. The blanket is thin at high elevations, so it holds in less heat. Climate is half of the third building block of habitats. Climate is weather over many, many years. Temperature, wind, and water in the air are all part of climate. Different places on Earth have different climates. The other half of this habitat block is water and land. Almost 3/4 of Earth's surface is water. Most of the water is in oceans. Other water is in lakes, streams, and underground. Earth's land is different from place to place. All these building blocks control what plants can grow in a place. And because plants are food for many animals, the plants control what animals can live in a place. So plants and animals are the last two building blocks of habitats. All the building blocks make Earth's many different habitats. Living things survive best in habitats where they have everything they need. Living things need food, water, and shelter. They also need room, safety, and a place to have and raise babies. Plants and animals in a habitat depend on each other. Every part of a habitat is important. All living things have adaptations to survive in their habitat. Some adaptations are helpful body parts. Other adaptations are helpful actions. Earth's environment is made of living and non-living parts all over the world. The environment is made of lots of different habitats. Let's learn about 3 different habitats. The first habitat is a savanna in Africa. A savanna is a grassland near the equator at a low elevation. The climate is hot and it is also dry most of the year. Heavy rain falls in the summer. It is too dry here for most trees to grow. A few trees grow far from one another so they can drink up the water that falls around them. Animals on a savanna do not have many places to hide. Zebras live in large groups to help them stay safe. Small animals hide under the ground. Cheetahs run fast to catch their food. Lions use their senses. Next, we will visit a forest in a middle latitude. This habitat is farther from the equator, so it is not as hot as a savanna. The climate changes more in different seasons, and winters are cold. Many trees in this forest drop their leaves in winter. Dropping leaves is an adaptation that saves energy. As the weather warms up again in spring, the trees grow new leaves. Animals in this forest have adaptations to survive the cold winters. Geese go to warm places to find food. Some animals save food to eat in winter. Other animals hibernate in winter. Now we will visit a polar habitat in the north of Canada. This habitat is called the tundra. Snow and ice cover the land for much of the year. Plants grow in places where the snow melts. Plants grow close to the ground to be safe from strong winds. The tundra does not have many trees. Deep roots will not grow in frozen ground. Many animals leave for the winter. The animals that stay in winter have adaptations to help them survive the cold. Moose have thick fur to keep them warm. Seals and whales have lots of fat to keep them warm in cold water. Some small animals stay under the ground or leave in winter. Many things can change habitats. Animals are one thing that can change habitats. Beavers build dams across streams. The dams cause the streams to flood. The water makes new habitats for frogs, turtles, and other animals. Earthworms dig tunnels in the ground. The tunnels let air into the ground. The air helps plants to grow better. Fires, floods, weather, and other things in nature change habitats too. Lava from a volcano destroys everything in its path, but it also makes a new habitat. Big storms can destroy an island or make a new one. People also change habitats. They cut down forests for wood and to make farms. Sometimes people build cities that cover land with concrete and buildings. You can change the habitat in your own backyard. A garden brings new animals. A bird feeder brings many kinds of birds. People also change habitats by causing pollution. When people throw away phones and many other things, bad chemicals get into the ground and water. Erosion hurts habitats too. When people cut down forests, their roots no longer hold the ground together. Rain can wash away the soil. In this book, you learned about the building blocks of habitats. You also learned how all the things in a habitat belong together. Now you know why the pictures on page 4 could not be real. Each of Earth's habitats is a system. Each habitat is a home for the plants and animals that live there. When the habitat is upset, living things have a hard time surviving. What can you do to help the balance of Earth's habitats? Discussion questions. What is a habitat? A habitat are the places or the place that an animal lives. How does the latitude of a place affect the kind of habitat you will find there? The latitude affects how hot or cold an animal's habitat is. What are the basic needs of living things? The basic needs of living things are food, water, and shelter. Why do living things have to adapt? Living things need to adapt because the environment changes. Good job!